Welcome back to the channel. What you see in front of you is a vintage super Gobot. This is Vamp. Vamp is a female renegade. She's a female bad Gobot. This is an awesome toy. This thing kicks ass. Look at this. Now this is cast metal. The body is cast metal. Her arms are plastic, and this spoiler thing is plastic. And she has like this cool, like kind of chrome, these eyes. This is an awesome toy. This is, the color scheme is awesome. Her eyes are that, like that reddish copper. Gonna get you. These antennae are usually broken. Hers, this is a great condition. Hers are not. Super Gobot. Now this came out in the mid 80s. My references, I've seen a few different dates. I've seen 84 and I've seen 86. I think it's either the second or third series of the Super Gobots. Possibly the third series. I've seen different websites offer different dates. So I guess just do your research on that if you want to know the exact date, unless it's on here. Let me take a look. This toy does not belong to me. This I gifted to someone and I had to borrow it for this video. As a kid, I had the original smaller one, and I brought Turbo here, my trusty Turbo, as a reference. Hey Turbo, how you doing? So this is the typical, Gobot size, and you see this is awesome. Vamp, she's just way bigger because she's the Super Gobot, right? I've done a few videos with Super Gobots. She is, for those keeping score at home, like 5.5 inches, as opposed to roughly a 3-inch tall standard Gobot. Substantially bigger. Thank you, Turbo. Checks in the mail, buddy. Actually, there's no money. So Vamp is awesome. I had the original small one. It's a great toy for a youngster because it's an easy transformation. Also, it's extremely eye-catching, metallic. The smaller one has a slightly different color scheme. I believe she's more monotone. Doesn't have these teal purple accents, and I believe it's more metallic looking. A shade a little bit darker green and a little bit more metallic, and awesome nonetheless. Her feet, these are also metal. These are plastic. She has plastic feet. She stands upright with no problem. I mean, this you can pose all day long. Her feet are super sturdy. This is just rad. The main thing is this: if you're interested in buying a Super Gobot Vamp, be careful. I'm a professional eBay antique vintage and antique dealer. I've been doing it on eBay for a while now, a few years, full time. The key is this: as a seller, you have to, in your title, include a dimension. In the listing description, you write the dimension, and in the photos, you give a few dimensions like this and like that. And I promise you, if you're an eBay seller, those buyer questions of, hey, how big is it, will magically disappear. I think I get like one of those or two of those a year. And when I receive those kind of questions from a buyer, I know they're not paying attention at all. But we want to make it easy for our buyers. That's one of EJ Parker's rule of sales. It could be rule number one. Don't make it hard for folks to buy your stuff. And my biggest question for my first year in eBay was, hey, how big is that thing? What's the dimensions? So I did that, and that question went away. And just a side note, when you do have buyers, so you put the descriptions, this is a trend I've noticed for you eBay sellers. Side note, when you put you're very clear, you put the dimension in the title, in the description, and in the photos. If a buyer, before they buy something, says, well, how big is it? And then you say, oh yeah, thanks for checking, for your interest. It's 5x5. The dimensions are in the listing and in the photos. Thanks again. And they buy it. They end up buying the item. I've had those buyers want to return or claim some problems, and that doesn't happen a lot. But when it does happen, I can remember it because it happens. I'm a very good seller. I take very good care of my items and my customers. I'm proud to say I have great customers and great viewers too, subscribers. But typically those people weren't paying attention, or I don't know what the problem is. I don't know. But just that's like a little trend I've noticed. Anyhow, so the key with this, back to Vamp. The key with her is this. You got to make sure that the listing has the dimensions, because she, again, looks very similar to, to the small one, the small size Gobot, right? And I think the paint scheme might even differ on this Super Gobot to where she looks just like the more metallic small size one. So be very aware, because you might think, oh, this is the big one or whatever, or vice versa, and it's not. You might want the small Gobot and get this one, or you might want the big one, which is, it's rare. This is a good amount. I don't want to say rare. This is harder to find than the original, like the small size one. 10 to 1. I don't know. 10 of the small size to one of these. I don't know. I think I bought this a couple years ago for around $30. I think I got a really good deal. I'm a good buyer on eBay. I'm always on it. I live in eBay. I walk the halls day and night. I think I got this for between $30 and $30. $25, $35, and it's in great shape, and the antennae are not broken. It can go for a little bit more, a little less, just condition, But that's the key. You gotta check. You gotta ask the seller, can they add the dimensions, because it looks a lot like the small one. So that's Let's transform. Without further ado, let's transform Vamp. She's a female renegade, a rare case. Usually, transformers and Gobots are personified as they're male, they're masculine. They have manly names. But no, in her Wikipedia, whatever they call it for the toys. Why am I struggling? She's a woman, or a woman. Says she's a renegade, so she's a renegade. All right, so that's that. You flip this. I love how it's just mostly just cast metal of some sort, like zinc probably, and that's it. Her feet fold back in so she can view when she's flying. She can fly or drive, so that's great. Multi-purpose vehicle, and that looks awesome. How cool is that? Futuristic. Usually they can look kind of hokey. Sometimes like the futuristic vehicles and Gobots or whatever, but this looks sweet. Man, look at that. Like a Batmobile looking bat jet thing. And this is 80. This is way before Dark Knight, 89. This is 83-ish. I think this design was 83, probably even earlier. I think this was actually a Machine Robo from Japan, which was an earlier precursor of these things, and it was like the same exact mold from what I read. So that's it. There she is, the beautiful, the macabre, a bit futuristic gothic, and again and then the transformation's easy. I think just gotta pop the legs out, and that's it. Made by Tonka. That is the Super Gobots Vamp. Thanks for checking in.